So as you have mentioned, Program Director, I will be taking you through the Section 71 report. So if you look at the objective of my presentation, we just want the public to be aware of the availability of the monthly report that is done by municipalities and submitted to the National Treasury database on monthly basis. We also want the public to be empowered that they are able to interpret that report, and also to be aware that this report serves as a mechanism to track the performance of a municipality, which then can be through our oversight bodies, which is the provincial treasuries, the sector departments. Then they can engage with that information so that if there's a need to intervene, then they can intervene. So in terms of the outline of the presentation, I'll just speak briefly on what we are heading to as Team Finance and what are the early warning system reports that are available out there, which can give a direction at any time that the municipality is taking. And also, I will speak briefly about the reporting framework and timelines, and then zoom into what we should look for when we look at a Section 71 report. And then at the end, there are annexures which are quite useful, which are some of the tables that are used to produce some of the presentations that we do and the reports that we do for Section 71, which we want the public to be aware of. So where are we heading as Team Finance? Our key is to improve the quality of local government information and to better inform, the public so that, policies can be formulated, so the debates can be also formulated based on the results that are coming from the results. So, but we want to ensure that, the information is as credible as possible so that it can serve, as a management tool, to facilitate alignment with the national policies, and also to make sure that, what you see on the budget, it can also be linked to what eventually happens with the audit outcome. So even at the budgeting stage, we want municipalities to really pay attention so that at the end of the day, we can have improved audit outcomes. So the key is to make sure that, we prevent municipalities from getting into difficulties. So we want to have tools that will give alarms and say there is a need to pay attention to, so that if there is a need for recovery plan, then those can be drawn. So also, what is important is we want the information to be comparable, across all municipalities. Some of you will be aware that we've introduced a municipal standard chart of account, which its aim is to make sure, that we've got credible information that is comparable across all municipalities, that encourages everyone at a municipality to work together. Because what we've observed, for example, is that you find that planners in the municipalities don't work together with the people, for example, that are in the budget office of the municipalities. So that kind of the M-score, it encourages everyone to work together in a municipality as a business. So as I've also mentioned, the key is to make policy formulations, planning, budgeting, and the implementation of the monitoring tools. At the end of the day, the key is to make sure that we've got accountability, for the service delivery. So what are the early warning systems, monitoring tools that are available? So right at the start of the municipal year, I think my colleague mentioned that now municipalities are busy consulting on the budget, which will be implemented from July. So as one of the key stakeholders, the provincial treasuries, the National Treasury, we are also conducted. And our key focus there is to make sure that those budgets are funded, because it's a sign for us. If a municipality will table an unfunded budget, it's a sign to us, that that budget is not realistic, and therefore it will not be implementable well. So this is guided by Section 18 of the MFMA, whereby Section 18 says that, a municipal budget must be funded realistically based on what has happened in the past. So what we often notice is that municipalities will just inflate revenue projections, and also, with the aim of justifying the expenditures that they are putting into those budgets. So we are quite aware of that. So we use the annual financial statements to ensure that, the municipality does not inflate the budget unnecessarily. So at the end of the day, the budget must be able to meet all commitments that the municipalities has, including the payment of bulk, like your ESCOM, like your water boards. So those are that is key. So that is one of the early warning system that will tell us, that something is wrong with the budget. And also then we have the Section 71 report and also Section 41 reports. So those reports will also tell that, on monthly basis, how is this municipality doing in terms of implementing the budget? Are there trends that needs to be revised in that municipality? So we also have the State of Local Government Finance Report. This report is based on the audit outcomes that would have been issued. So it's a report that will definitely tell us, realistically, what is happening at municipalities. Do we have an increase in the municipalities that are in financial distress, or do we see an improvement in that regard? So that is one of the report that we also use. And you also aware that we will also have the Auditor General report, which will also poke and tell us, the areas of concern within the municipalities on how municipalities are managing their finances. We also have what we call Section 138 and 140 triggers. These are also published on quarterly basis by the National Treasury. And these triggers, it will tell us if the municipality is failing to pay creditors when they are due, if the municipality is defaulting on any of the financial obligations, So it will tell us all those things. So therefore, a correct mode of intervention can then be imposed for such, because it also guides that, if a municipality is failing in this, that, and that, then the correct mode of intervention is this one. So that we also often use. We also have the financial management capability maturity model. This is a self-diagnostic tool that municipalities use to assist them, by automatically generating the action plans to address the internal control deficiencies that they will find. We also have ratios. We have issued a circular 71 that has got a lot of ratios that will also, tell us, how the municipality is doing, with various ratios. We've got current ratios, we've got liquidity ratios there. So we also have like collection rates, everything that will tell us, where the direction the municipality is going. We also have Circular 88, which is more on the performance side of things, that will also tell us how the municipality is doing in terms of the trading services and on how they are performing there. So on the reporting framework, So this was informed, by definitely having timely information available on the state of any municipality, also serving as an early warning system, to highlight the areas of risk within a municipality, and also measuring the performance of municipalities and making sure that, whatever the municipality is doing is aligned to the national priorities as would have been set, by our president. It also serves as a proactive management tool, that to check on the performance of the municipality, and also enables the stakeholders, to use the information to come up, with the policies that they can use for local government. So if we continue, then in terms of the timeframes, you'll find that most of our timeframes are guided by Section 70, by the MFMA report. So there will be timeframes whereby the municipal manager will be required to submit a report to the mayor, and also the timeframes when the mayor is supposed to submit the report to the rest of the council of the municipality, and also when to adjust the budgets of the municipalities, because we know that half yearly then municipalities have to start looking at their budgets and see if there is a need to adjust, whether maybe there has been a challenge with revenue collection and therefore the budget needs to be revised down, or if there has been an improvement also, then the budget can be adjusted upwards. So also what is important when you look at the budget, you remember that I've said something about the audit outcome. So a budget of a municipality will have the 3 years of the audit outcomes, then the current year, and also now the MTREF, which is the next 3 years. So there you can easily see, if you look at the audit outcomes, and then you see a jump of now the projections in terms of what the municipality is budgeting for, then you can already see if there is something wrong. So these are some of the guardrails that we have at our disposal that we can then use. So at the end of the day, then an annual report is produced. The annual report is a very key important document in a municipality. Whoever wants to invest in a certain municipality, they use the annual report as the basis, because it has got all the information about the performance of the municipality. So if we now zoom into what to look for in a Section 71 report, so what is important to note here is that this report is flexible. It can determine trends, from a national point of view, from a provincial point of view, from a municipal point of view. So you can compare your municipality against the other municipalities, so that it can serve, as an information that can serve for debate and also to interrogate the facts about the figures. So we've got the revenue, we've got the expenditure, the capital expenditure, the growth in creditors, cash position of a municipality, loans that are derived, and repairs and maintenance, over and under. So I will be speaking briefly on these points in the next few slides. So in this one, this is the billed revenue. So what we mean by that is that for a municipality to continue to improve on the quality of service to its citizens, it needs to generate the required revenue. So the revenue is mainly derived from service charges, which is water, sanitation, refuse, and electricity, and also through the property rates, and also through transfers. So depending on the size of the municipality, you'll find that these service charges and property rates are the main drivers of the revenue that the municipality will have. But then your smaller municipalities, you'll find that they mostly derive their revenue from transfers, which is the equitable share, and some grants in this regard. So it's if you look at the graph on the right-hand side, then it just shows, remember my colleague indicated that we just looked at a snapshot of what happened in 23, 24. So this was at the fourth quarter. So where you can see that the municipality on the red budgeted a certain amount for property rates, and then the black, this is what then they build out, which is, you can see, is equally the same. But what is more of concern now is what they actually get. You can see then the gray part, whereby you see that now they actually get far less than what they anticipated to get. And this is what we always warn them when we meet with them, that, don't be too ambitious, because remember, what you project as revenue is what is going to drive your expenditure. So now if you actually get far less than what you projected, that means now that you will have more items now, which are whereby now you will rob Peter to Paul, you will rob Paul to pay Peter, that kind of thing, because now your revenue is not adding up. So that is the danger of not billing and realistically. So this is very important information that you can interact with your municipality and also the council, as they get the reports from the public. So what this graph shows is the growth in debtors. This is the danger where we don't want municipalities to be at, because over time we have seen an increase in the debtors, meaning the municipality bills out there, but then they are not able to recoup. Hence, now you see this increase. This is not a good sign. It means, many people are not paying for services. There is culture of non-payment for services which are rendered by the municipality. So this is the operating expenditure. So this is just a day-to-day running of the municipality. The municipality needs employees. They need, to clean water. They need to give us access to electricity. There are contractors that are appointed by the municipality. So this is the day-to-day. So, but some of the things that we have seen is that municipalities are not really focusing on paying for these services, because the core mandate of the municipality is to deliver these basic services to us. So now if you see that the focus of the municipality is not mainly on that, then it becomes a concern. That's where you need to raise those alarms with your municipality, that you see that most of the budget goes to salaries, for example. Municipalities are not supposed to be the agents of employment. They are supposed to just be the enablers. So their budget needs to be focused on the trading services rather than on these other things, where you see an infrastructure tap not working, but a spike in the increase of water tankers, that are supplying the municipality. That is not a good sign. So the municipality needs to pay attention, fixing the infrastructure, making sure that the roads are working properly. So each and everyone, including the council of the municipality, need to pay attention to this. If you look on the capital expenditure side, this is where now we're talking about, the infrastructure side of things, like your water treatment works, roads, electricity substation, And most municipalities depend on grants, to finance this. But you find that your metros, for example, and your secondary cities, they can use internally generated funds. They can use borrowing also to finance their infrastructure. So you also need to pay attention. How much is your municipality in terms of the overall budget? How much are they investing in the infrastructure? Because we've got those ratios. You remember I referred to Circular 71. That circular also tells you that, for a municipality, you need to spend between 10 to 20% of your budget just on the infrastructure. But you find that some municipalities have huge budgets, but they are investing very little on that. So those are the things that you can engage your municipality on as well. So earlier on, I referred to the increase in debtors. There is a good relationship between increase in debtors and increase in the creditors. The increase in the creditors is as a result of the municipality not receiving enough from the public, from the bills that have been issued out there. Therefore, now they find themselves defaulting, in paying for creditors like your ESCOM, like your water boards, and you look then at the age analysis of that, which becomes a huge concern because a municipality is supposed to pay within 30 days of receiving the invoice. They are supposed to pay. But what we see is that if the municipality will go over 120 days not paying for services, hence now you see then the failure of the infrastructure. You see ESCOM doing load shedding and those things because they just don't have enough money to continue to run the services. Then the cash position, which is also key. This is where you can check, how much does your municipality have? Here we just gave in terms of percentages, but you can also see the actual figures in terms of what has been built. How much did my municipality get for electricity? How much did they get for water? So if you look at this graph, it's a concern that, if you look at the red part, it shows that, municipalities continue to get less than what they have issued out there as bills, which then boils to the culture of non-payment, which must be completely eradicated. We encourage municipalities to exercise maximum credit controls when it comes to collecting the money that is owed to them. So we mentioned the infrastructure, that it can be funded through loans. So these are the type of loans that the municipality may have. If you look at the next graph, it will show you that, we've got bank overdraft, long-term loans. So the things that we don't encourage is the bank's overdrafts, because some municipalities, when they are in trouble with the cash inflow, then they will tap into the bank for a bank overdraft. So we encourage municipalities to use loans only for revenue generating assets. That's what we encourage for municipalities. And if you look at metros, then you will find that metros will I see you, Pete. I see you, program director. I'm almost done. Then you will see them using, for example, bonds, like because they are metros, they are like your city of Joburg, Cape Town, and Tshwane. So we also, if you look at Section 71, you will also see how much your municipality is spending on repairs and maintenance. This is key, repairs and maintenance. For that infrastructure to continue working, your municipality needs to budget as much as they can. Even with now, when you are consulting during this public participation, make sure that that budget has got enough. And then we've got the over and underspending. Over and underspending, this one is only at the end of fourth quarter. You won't see it in quarter 1, 2, and 3, but at the end, then a municipality, you will be able to tell whether the municipality spent within. So we encourage municipalities, the budget must not deviate beyond 5% on the operating side and not beyond 10% on the capital expenditure part. But this is where then you will see whether municipalities know what they are doing when it comes to budgeting. Thank you, Program Director. I'm done.
Thank you, Mr. Gilimani, and my sincere apologies for seeing my handsome face, but I did warn you that you'll see my beautiful face in case we run out of time, just to make sure that we stay within the schedule. Can we just give some love to Mr. Gilimani as well as Mr. Mashaba for the input, for the insightful contributions in terms of the keynote presentation? I see there's a lot of love and emojis, and thanks for that, gentlemen. And to the audience, we will share the presentation later. So some of the information that we may not have covered, or perhaps where Mr. Gilimani could not get through, maybe, or just to explain it further, we'll share the presentation and we'll engage from that. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank the two gentlemen. So Mr. Gilimani, can you go to the slide? We recall that the DG indicated that one aspect of or one of the efficacies of this particular webinar is to make sure that we direct the public in terms of where to find the information. Please go to the next one. So he indicated earlier that we do have, the first one perhaps that to speak to, we have what you call MFMA webpage. In terms of the above there, we just want to show that how to easily navigate to access the local government information. So when you go to Google and say, or maybe National Treasury, when you get to National Treasury, you go there in the orange part, go to National Treasury's website. From the landing page, go to legislation. After legislation, you just pick, you'll see there's PFMA and MFMA, go to MFMA. Then under MFMA, you'll see their publications and media releases, you'll see circulars and any other part of information that is published there. But for this particular purpose, because we are discussing Section 71, we'll go under publications as well as under publication and media releases. Then you'll find Section 71 information. For the financial year 2024-2025, the published information is for quarter 1 and quarter 2. Quarter 1 ended is July, August, September, and then quarter 2 is October, November, December. So we have published up until December for the current financial year 2024-2025. But I must also indicate that what was presented was based on the 2023-2024 financial year as ended. So that's where you'll find what the MFMA webpage. Secondly, the DG also made mention of the municipal money. How do you get to municipal money? You can just go to Google and then type in Go Muni. After typing Go Muni, you'll see there is a BI portal with a sign in there, or maybe the password. But because you are a member of the public, you don't have the password, you don't have access, please select public access. When you select public access, then you will see that you land to a page where you are able to navigate, and perhaps you can also be able to access municipal money portal as the arrow showing you there. So when you land, you'll see a picture like that one. And then if you want to go to municipal money, you'll go to that calculator as is shown in the picture there. And then you are able to navigate even for social economic information. So there's a lot of available information that is accessible there. So you'll be able to get started. Probably maybe want to get information around one of the municipalities. When you get to that, you're able to get started and then search for that particular municipality under municipal money portal. And then you're able to access information.